Good evening, everyone. Welcome to 2025. Call the meeting of the Town of Bernardston Select Board for Wednesday, January 8th, 2025 at 6:01. This meeting is being broadcast live on BNC TV and live streamed on YouTube. To find BNC TV on YouTube, go to youtube.com and search for Bernardston-Northfield Community Television. This meeting will be available for later viewing by following the link at townofbernardston.org. You can also watch channel 1075 on your Comcast dial in Bernardston. The warrants is first up. I would entertain a motion for the payroll warrant in the amount of $72,276.23.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Any corrections?
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I would entertain a motion for the vendor warrant in the amount of $739,624.11.
So moved.
Second.
As far as discussion, the bulk of that $739,000 is $642,429.40 for the PVRS district school assessment. That's every
Quarter.
I think it's thirds.
5 times a year. Isn't it?
5 times.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot of money. Meeting minutes. I would entertain a motion to approve the regular meeting. Oh, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
There go.
All right. I would entertain a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of December 11th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, corrections, deletions?
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to approve the special meeting minutes of December 30th, 2024. I'm going to abstain from this because I was not there.
I'll move that motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Call up the Council on Aging Senior Center people, if I could, to the front desk so we get you on camera. Going to kick you out for a second, Pete. Taking things out of
script.
yeah, we're jumping the script to get everybody out. We have a lot of talent out there in the crowd, so I want everybody on camera if I could. All right.
You're good.
So, Pam Parmakian? Parmakian, okay.
Parmakian.
New COA and Senior Center Director introduction. The Select Board, at a special meeting on Monday, December 30th, 2024, appointed Pam Parmakian, former Director of Property and Asset Management at the Franklin County Regional Housing and Redevelopment Authority, as the new COA and Senior Center Director. Pam is a resident of Greenfield who recently retired from the Housing Authority but saw the opening in Bernardston and figured it was a chance to put her experience to use. Welcome, Pam. Okay, this is your chance, if you would, to please introduce yourself to the citizens. And there's a camera up there, you can't see it, but it's you're on broadcasting on live, I guess, at this point. Can you please tell us about yourself, your career journey that brought us?
Sure. First off, thank you for the opportunity. I'm really excited to be part of the Senior Center in Bernardston. Not only is it a very well-known gem in Franklin County, I've always felt like the Senior Center in Bernardston were sort of leaders. In my portfolio before, I have a lot of seniors that I worked with through the Housing Authority. One of the properties right next door to the Senior Center was part of my portfolio, but people really raved about the Senior Center. So thank you for the opportunity.
In your portfolio in Bernardston?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep, Stratton Manor.
Oh.
Yeah, of course, Stratton Manor.
There you go.
And thank you to the COA for all the support that they've given me. They've been really quite amazing. And to the town for all the questions I've been sending over. Keep them coming. So I'm excited also to continue building on the programming that you have in place. There's, again, you guys are real leaders in Franklin County. I think it's the busiest senior center in Franklin County. So we hope to build on that. We plan to build on it. We plan to bring on some new events, more classes. We're not going to change what's there now. I know we've gotten a lot of phone calls saying, are we still going to have that class? Well, kids, come on in. So it's very busy over there. I'm sure that you guys have all been there, but it was on January 23rd, there's already 30 people signed up for the special lunch on January 23rd. So it's
That's
just really thriving.
Turkey dinner, is that the one?
Yes.
How did I know?
I don't know. How did you know? I think everybody's nodding to it. So I'm really excited about the opportunity and to share my past experience. I did a lot of events coordinating and on the Cape for 20 years.
Oh,
so
nice.
I do have an events background, including concerts, shows, and a lot of work for nonprofits. So I'm
great.
really excited to share that experience here too.
We have concerts that kind of fell off when the library director left and brought out a new one, but there was a series of concerts on your grass outside of overlooking the pond.
Let's bring that back.
Yeah, absolutely. And some
Right?
really talented groups.
Right.
Yeah.
I get to crank my window down in the summer and listen for free.
I think we should bring it back. And the team that's in place over there is so amazing. They're coming up with new ideas. They've been sharing some of the things that they've been thinking about. So we're going to be starting some other new classes and new programming. But one of them is going to be an outdoor concert, not tonight.
Yeah.
Right. So one of the things that I was looking through today is the Fred Wells Trust Health Grant application. So I do plan on submitting that, and
Okay.
it's traditionally $1,000, and it assists in some of the health classes. So that's what we've used it for in the past, specifically for foot care and for massage. But it also has been able to assist in food service. So I do plan on applying for that. And
I'm going to ask Karen, we talked about grants and that they need to be run by this.
Correct, yeah, we she's
Okay.
aware of
Yeah.
of the
Good.
written
Okay.
policy, we briefly touched on it today, but Pam and I are gonna sit down and schedule a good amount of time, like an hour, and have more of a onboarding with,
Introduce them to
yeah, I'll show
capital.
her, yep, I'll show her just not even that, but just, how some of the town's business and where things are. We'll navigate the website together, there's a lot of stuff on there.
Okay.
And familiarize, bill pay, all that stuff. But she, Jennifer, started that process with her, so. But
Okay.
as she goes along is probably the best way to learn, and things will come up, and
Right.
and I'm here for you when that happens,
thanks, Gary.
It is
Yeah.
also budget season, so,
Jennifer submitted her budget already, I believe.
and it's, we
But you
need
should
some
join in on the
modifications to
process,
it, yeah.
right?
And
We submitted a revised budget.
Oh, you did?
we
Okay,
did.
my
So
apologies.
we
Yeah.
worked on that.
Yeah, we already
Right.
worked on that.
I don't know what day it is today, Wednesday, so I think we worked on it Monday.
We did.
So we've
Okay.
touched base on that and sort of done a couple adjustments and revisions to it, so.
Great.
Yeah.
Good.
I think what I was thinking about, excuse me, was the annual report. She did submit the annual report.
annual
That's
report,
what I was
so.
thinking about.
Oh, okay.
And my apologies.
Because
yeah.
that's a look back at what happened.
Yeah,
in
for
one.
2024, yes,
Yeah.
Jennifer completed that before leaving, so we
Good.
have that,
Oh, good.
yeah.
And Jennifer wrote a little book of how-tos for me too, so that's been really helpful, and I really appreciate that she
Good.
did that.
Good.
Nice.
All right, well, welcome
Yeah.
aboard.
Thank
you
you.
very
You're
much for joining us.
Thank you.
You got some big shoes to fill, but
Yeah.
Me too.
we have more than half our population, I think, is seniors that would benefit from your programs. So that's a lot of the town. So
Sure.
Yeah.
it's an important process. All right, well,
So,
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you again for
All right.
the opportunity.
All right. Next up is Peter Shedd.
The announcements or no?
I'm going to get back to
Okay, I
those. I'm
gotcha,
going to
all right.
take care of the appointments first.
I
wanna
understand, thank you.
Get people moved through. So the Tri-State Fire Mutual Aid, so-called TSFMA Incorporated, has written participating towns with the goal of renewing the mutual aid compact that was in the primary purpose of the TSFMA. TSFMA has existed for decades to provide a framework of community fire departments to assist one another in times of need. This mutual aid, is that basically what it is?
Yes.
Okay. This is particularly important where departments work across state lines. Currently, there are 47 fire departments that are signatories to the TSDMA agreement in the states of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts. This is a 3-year agreement. The town administrator confirmed with Maya, our insurance provider, that the town of Bernardston maintains the required employer's liability, emergency workers' salary protection insurance, emergency workers' death benefit, God help us, insurance, as required in Massachusetts by the Acts of 2005, Chapter 125, public liability and property damage insurance, including liability coverage for the provisions of the indemnity provisions contained in the agreement. And tonight we have, presenting to the Select Board, Peter Shedd, our fire chief. And I would entertain a motion to, I want you to talk about it before we go through this process, but I would entertain a motion to accept the renewal of the Tri-State Fire Mutual Aid Incorporated Agreement as written.
So moved.
So what is all this thing about? So moved?
Second.
Okay. Now we can have discussion.
Yes.
Tell me all about it. What is this?
It originally started in like the 1940s, mid-1940s. At forefront, at one of the first mutual aid agreements, especially the multiple states that happened in New England. It led to the numbering system, the current numbering system.
We're number 4.
Bernardston is 4, so that Brattleboro is 5. So that has stayed on and been in place ever since. And plus, it's such a valuable asset to everybody. I mean, Greenfield calls mutual aid, Brattleboro, Turner's Falls, Roll, Monroe. I mean, everybody uses it, and it's a great system. And other than the $100 or $150 a year, it's a great deal.
Yeah, it really is a great deal. You have to have it, too.
Yep.
Have to have it.
Yeah, we don't have the resources as a
Yep.
town to fund that kind of stuff. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, that was the easy part. Now I'm gonna put you on a skewer. Talk to me about the new fire department.
They're gaining ground all the time. I was told today that today I believe Mr. Hawkins was there.
Who's the FRCOG
Yep,
building inspector.
Friday, either the electrical or plumbing, and then Monday is the other one coming. So everything is coming right along.
All these inspections
Yeah.
moving toward the closing.
Towards the closing.
Is it gonna happen in my lifetime?
I certainly hope so.
Okay.
I've been talking to Roger and Chris.
Okay.
Chris has been down talking to his lawyer, so I would expect we should be hearing something from town council
Okay.
relatively soon. I mean, there are a few items that we're waiting on the siding, we're waiting on the doors.
That's very typical.
But
of
I
a-
believe everything has been paid for.
Okay. Having some experience in commercial properties, there's always a punch list of things that need to get done. So you have the closing subject to fix this, fix that, remove this, remove that,
Yeah.
whatever else. And they typically put dates and
Right, so it's,
performance issues.
what'd you call it, the Schedule B?
Exhibit
Okay.
B.
Or exhibit,
Of
we
the
may have to
proposed,
like
yeah.
take that and
Yes.
refine what's done, what's not done.
Dump everything in there, anything that moves, shakes, whatever that's not complete, put it on the list and with some kind of expected time frame. So if it doesn't get done within that time
Yeah.
frame. And then-
And I think that will solve some of the oncoming problems we're having, is the ownership issue. Once it's over
Right.
into our
That'd
names,
be huge, yeah.
we can move forward and get stuff done, and it'll be out of his name, it'll be out of his tax purposes.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
good, we're into
So-
2025.
Yeah.
So Karen was over there today and she was just raving about the work that was done.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Yes.
At some point, you're gonna have a open house?
Yes, we will.
It's in the budget, pizza and soda,
Well, maybe.
maybe turn the heat back on and see
I
what's
might
good.
have to beat up a few of the businessmen in town to.
Something to whoop it up, to invite all of the
Yeah.
townspeople.
It's
Yeah.
warmer weather though.
Yeah,
We can
Okay.
help you with that.
Right.
it's good.
But we would like
Ribbon
the
cutting.
select board, if you had a free Wednesday night in the near future,
We would,
we'd like you to come over and see
I think,
where we are, and then
we'll
we
get
could
Karen to schedule that.
refine that punch list and
Good.
Sure.
since you guys are the ones that gotta sign everything.
Yeah,
We're thinking
You'll
a
be
week
there,
from
you'll
today.
see it. If you got questions,
that's good. Let's
that'll be
do
the time to pop them up and hopefully we can answer them all, so.
Yeah.
week from today.
You're thinking about 6 o'clock next Wednesday?
Wednesday would
We
be
talked about that date already.
the 15th.
The
Yes?
15th, 6 o'clock.
Sounds like a
So I'll
great
set up a
idea.
meeting.
Yes,
and
please.
Post it. And
I
it'll
like
be
it.
a joint meeting with the Fire Station Building Committee. Okay?
Great idea.
All right.
Get that posted.
Perfect.
Anything, how's your budget coming?
I submitted it.
Yeah.
It's in, it's in. It might have to be revised, but
All right. The other question I've been asked by some townsfolk is, what are we gonna do with the old building?
that's a good question.
Okay.
That's your guys.
Oh, all right. You
Well,
don't
we
have
do
any
have to
big
shut it
plans?
down. We have to
Right.
close the building
Yeah.
and make sure everything's out of there. I talked to Aaron about it a little bit today, so.
Okay.
I've had other people ask too. I mean, other people ask, why, I wouldn't mind buying it. But I think buying it's out of the question because it's part of the historic lot
Yeah.
with a PI
Yeah.
library and it'd probably be an act of Congress to
To get that changed.
separate them. I don't know, but
Could be done, but you wonder why you
Yeah.
need to.
Right.
I think the town can figure something out, and we, as we're on camera here, would invite anybody that has some great
Ideas,
ideas to talk to Karen.
Yeah.
See if we can't get some value out of that building.
yep.
I understand also the building right behind us has some fire department memorabilia in there.
Yes,
We gotta,
and some stuff.
further stuff. We gonna do something with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So
That's
as
in
we
the
finish
works?
over here, we can start moving it in.
Okay. There's plenty of space
So-
on the new building.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay. All right.
It fills up fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fire truck is still being built?
It hasn't even got to the drawing board yet.
Oh, okay.
It's in line.
It's in line.
It's in line.
We're in the queue. Okay. What else should we ask you?
Other than that, I think that's it.
Well, we did the
Okay.
walkthrough today with
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah.
That's why Brian was here today.
Oh.
We did the walkthrough
Yeah,
for the
The
fire
other
department
Brian.
to
We've got
get
too
it
many
all
Brians
wired
in
up.
this
Brian's,
department.
yeah.
Brian Leck from
Yep.
Advantech.
Yeah, our-
So we had a
our
nice
IT
visit.
partner.
Yeah, we had, it was, so he walked through, it looks, everything's good to go. Yeah, and we got a couple other things fixed, which was good. So it was a good visit today.
Good.
When would we expect to see, because I'm all about safety, so when would we expect to see signs out on Route 10 saying there's a fire station up ahead? Flashing
I was
signs if you
told
guys
by
are-
the state that I didn't know, but the state has their own sign company.
Oh.
So they didn't have any fire department signs made up, so they were gonna push it right on the list to get some signs
Okay.
made up. And I guess they're going through the plans to put in a traffic light or signal light
Yeah.
of some sort.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
alarm goes off.
Alarm will
you
go
flick
off.
the switch and it stops the traffic.
The
so
red light will
trucks-
come on and,
Right,
That's good.
Great.
That's expensive though.
well, it's gonna be on the states.
State.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I noticed, and the reason I ask it, I noticed leaving town, they don't drive quite as fast, they still drive fast. But coming into town, whew, man, they are cooking.
I mean, and
so there
the
has to
state
be
guys,
some sort of-
they're the ones that brought it to my attention. I really didn't think of it, but that's right at the start of the 55 mile per hour zone
Right.
too. So
Right.
That's
people
going out of town.
going out of town,
Yeah.
I mean, they're just starting to pick up
Yeah.
speed to go. And
Yeah.
Right.
Part of the discussion with the state was the bridge repair over 91. They're going to do studies to see what the traffic pattern is to try to slow people down and maybe post different speed limits there. Just to, protect the workers that are working on the bridge, but make it a permanent change
Yeah.
to step down.
They've been talking about that for a long time, over
Uh-huh.
the years. And
Okay.
it seems so every time we have a bad accident,
Yeah.
it sort of,
Comes back.
it
to-
Comes
speed
back to
comes
the-
back an issue. It
Right.
sort of comes back to the forefront again.
So, following on Brian Herview's question about safety, you can't really see into the fire department, the new fire department. You're going to do some trimming and
We're gonna do some tree trimming there. We are gonna put a street light, and the pole sets back into the driveway a little bit, so
Okay.
it'll help eliminate the entrance better, so.
okay.
Yeah, the state relinquished the permitting. They said we could go ahead and do our own trimming
trees, yeah.
to
Okay.
create or enhance the line of sight to the fire department.
Yeah.
Good.
right? That's how I interpreted that permit, so,
Just
else?
gotta get a hold of this guy named Brad.
Yeah,
yeah.
good luck. Good luck.
I just want to say thanks to the fire department guys that have worked hand
Yeah.
in hand
Boy,
with the
yeah.
Raymonds to make all this happen over there.
Yep.
It wasn't this board that made a lot of that happen. It was those guys and girls with the department that did
Absolutely.
the biggest part of that work.
You got a good crew over there.
Yeah. Done an awesome
So
job.
as
with
soon as Raymond said they had a space and they needed some demolition, I said, I got some guys for you.
it. Yeah.
They're real good at knocking stuff down.
Good drill night, right?
Very good. All right. Anything
That's
else we
great.
should ask you?
Not right at the moment.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Very good.
Stay
Thank you.
warm.
I'll get
Thank
the
you.
agreement sent back to the
Yep.
proper person. So.
Perfect.
All right, thank
All
you.
right. So now we can go back to our normal routine. We did the warrants, we did the minutes, so now the calendar and announcements. The Bernardston Fire and Water District meeting is scheduled for Thursday, January 9th, that's tomorrow, at 6 p.m. at the Fire and Water District building at 295 South Street in Bernardston. I don't know, that's a public meeting?
It's open.
Open, so if you have any concerns, go on down. 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Invitation for bids. An invitation for bids has been posted for the Bernardston Country Estates Sanitary Sewer System Replacement Project on Wednesday, January 8th at 11 a.m. at Town Hall. So that was this morning.
That changed. It's January 15th at 1
Ah.
o'clock. I don't know which one you're reading.
Oh, you got this one here.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got to update.
January
There's
15th at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Okay.
Different.
There's more announcements too.
More announcements. All right, we're
Sorry.
switching over documents at Town Hall. So I did that one, that one. 3-town meeting of Select Boards, Finance Committees of Bernardston, Leiden, and Northfield is scheduled for Thursday, January 9th at 6 p.m. That's tomorrow night also, at the Bernardston Senior Center. That's to discuss the,
School district agreement.
and it's been a long process. We're coming down to the end. PVRSD School Committee meeting is scheduled for Thursday, January 9th at 6 p.m. at the PVRS School Library. The Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for Monday, January 13th at 6:30 p.m. at Town Hall. They're gearing up for the budget process for the upcoming year. Do I need to clarify what the Bernardston Country Estates Sanitary Sewer Project is all about? That's the
It's the, yeah.
75 South?
Yes.
For those people that don't know what is Bernardston Country
Oh,
Estates.
gotcha, yeah.
That's what that project is about.
And then,
And finally, under announcements, the town hall offices will be closed on Monday, January 20th, 2025, in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Are there any events for that day?
not posted yet,
Not
not
posted yet,
yet.
okay. We're
I
still
didn't,
working on it.
I dug around, I didn't see anything,
Okay.
but I'll keep looking, but
I know the federal government is shut down for
Thursday.
respect for
Yeah.
our former President Carter.
we'll be open.
We're gonna
Full
be open.
service,
All right.
yes.
Very good. So that's any citizens' concerns? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll move on to that. New business. Resignation of Ron McConnell, Transfer Station. I would entertain a motion to accept the letter of resignation from Transfer Station Attendant Ron McConnell effective December 7th, so that's quite a ways ago. The Select Board has prepared a letter of appreciation to Ron, and it reads, Dear Ronald, although everybody calls him Ron, the Select Board met on January 8th, 2025 and accepted your resignation as a Transfer Station Operations Attendant with regret. Your dedication and loyal commitment to overseeing the day-to-day operations of the transfer station is truly valued and you will be missed. Please accept our appreciation for your service. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to the town. We appreciate you respectfully, Select Board. I know I go every week to the transfer station, and Ron always comes out and busts me, has something to say fun, and we get into conversations. He's a great guy.
He loves Alabama football.
Yeah,
You
he
gotta
does.
talk Alabama football with him.
Yeah, you can spend some time down there if you want to talk with him. He's a good guy. So we will miss him and thank him again for his service.
So I'll make the motion to accept the letter of resignation from the transfer station attendant, Ron McConnell, effective December 7th, 2024.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Ron.
Town usage request. I would entertain a motion to approve the Town of Bernardston-Pratfield public facility use application for the United Church of Bernardston to host the annual gas engine show from May 23rd, 2025 through May 25th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
Always a great event.
Yes.
We get huge participation, and not just from the residents of Bernardston. It draws people from all over the place. It used to be, they call it the gas engine show. They have just a lot of fun for a 3-day event, and you get fed nicely there too as well. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Brian Hervey, you're keeping track if I got all the votes I'm supposed to have yet? I always forget that part. Fiscal year 26 FR COG budget notice and signatory authorization form for the collective highways bid. To assist with each municipality's budget planning, the town of Bernardston will pay $2,995 for the fiscal year 2026 fee structure for the upcoming round of collective highway bid program. As the Franklin Regional County, I'll start again. As the Franklin Regional Council of Governments, the so-called FRCOG, begins the fiscal year 26 collective highway bid process, requesting approvals, identifying key signatures is an important first step. To identify the authorized contract signatory for fiscal year 26 construction service bids and permission to contract on each participant's behalf, the Select Board will authorize the town administrator, Karen Kelly, as the official signatory for all highway construction services contracts after the contracts have been reviewed by the highway superintendent. Therefore, I would entertain a motion to accept the FY 2026 fee structure assessment of $2,995 and authorize the town administrator as the official signatory for all highway construction services contracts in which we choose to participate.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. How they come to the 2,995 is by population.
There's some kind of formula that
Yep.
includes that as
Yeah.
well,
Yep.
and
Right.
we're member towns, it's
cheaper, right?
it's cheaper as a member town,
Okay,
so.
all good.
And Brian Minor's all on board with that.
Yeah, I
That's,
talked to
yeah.
Brian before I presented this to you to make sure he
Good.
was okay with it,
All right.
and he said no problem.
All right,
Don't
efficient.
sign anything without him seeing it first, of
That's
course.
what it says in the vote here.
Yeah.
Okay. Efficiency and Regionalization Advisory Committee discussion. On December 4th, 2024, the towns of Bernardston and Leiden were awarded a $75,000 grant through the Community Compact Cabinet's Efficiency and Regionalization, so-called ENR, grant program. Once again, this grant program for fiscal 2025 was highly competitive. Our application was chosen because it met the program's overarching goal of driving the implementation of regionalization and other efficiency initiatives that allow for long-term sustainability. The grant documents have been signed, and the next step is for the two towns to form an Efficiency and Regionalization Advisory Committee. Leiden's recommendation is for one Select Board member, one Finance Committee member, and one resident of the town, in this case Bernardston, who is not an employee of the town. So Bernardston would put forth 3 people, Leiden puts forth 3 people, 6 people for this committee. It's going to take some doing, a lot of meetings and investment of time and energy, and to come up with some good ideas as to how the two towns could assist each other in whether it's the fire department, the highway department, the rec department, the God knows what else. All of those ideas are on the table.
And this is a recommendation, so it doesn't have to be that, just so you know.
But-
We have other people that might be interested, so.
I would,
I know Chris was interested in being on it, but anyway,
Okay.
just throwing it out there.
so there is room for a motion to accept Leiden's recommendation.
Make the motion to accept Leiden's recommendation so we can have discussion.
Correct.
Okay.
You don't have
Second?
to pick it today.
All right.
yeah.
So now let's have the discussion. What are you thinking?
I'm just wondering, I mean, we have the Public Safety Board and the makeup of that with Northfield and those folks is basically a Select Board, a Finance Committee.
Yep.
Is there
There's a public.
a
Yep.
public as well?
Peter and I served on
And
that.
that's very similar to what we had when we were joining police departments with
Exactly.
Leiden as well.
Yep.
Other than maybe Leiden had a bigger contingent with their public safety committee maybe, or not? You were on that one, right?
Yes, I was.
Very similar makeup as
Yes,
what they're
it
recommending
it was
here, right?
identical, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to work.
So 3 from each town plus the chief.
And then Michelle and I would be ad hoc, kind of like we'd be, but not on the committee, so to speak. We'd maybe take minutes or, maybe
And
we'll talk
more than
about
that,
it.
I mean, yeah. 'Cause-
And to Chris's point, a town clerk is a good, right?
Yeah.
So, again, this was just recommended, but we can
Yes.
add to it. And I think town
Yeah.
clerk is a good addition to a
The
committee like
difficulty
that.
comes when we had this difficulty with the police task force committee, putting the 2 police forces together. There's an awful lot of voices, and
Yep.
working through the agreement, the IMA, intermunicipal agreement.
Yeah,
It took forever. There were dozens of meetings, and lawyers and the consultant that will be ultimately hired to assist this process. You get too big a committee and
you get nothing, yeah.
you
it's
get
hard.
nothing done. That's the problem. And I do respect Chris's idea of including that.
Or
And-
an employee, one employee. who
Well, that's
is
the-
familiar with.
And you could swap out from probably the finance committee is a must, but I don't know, I guess 3 people, however whatever the makeup is, but I know it's 3 people.
Yeah.
One definitely being a resident, non-employee to a resident of the town is the most important one, piece of it too.
Well, if you want to add the town clerk, you'd have to go to a 4-person committee.
Yeah,
Right.
And you'd have to get Leiden on board with that too.
and they don't
Right.
have a town clerk. Right
Okay, no problem, yeah. I'll bring that up when I'll let her know that we have an interested party that's not part of the recommended makeup. What say you?
It
kind of
doesn't
thing.
prohibit
Correct.
someone like Chris to sit in on the
That's a
meetings. It's a public meeting.
Right,
So you
Okay.
certainly would be recognized
okay.
in the process.
That's a great,
So,
that, of course.
Again, respecting keeping
Okay.
the momentum going. We have 12 months to spend the $75,000 and get the work done in this committee.
Right.
My guess is it's going to take all of that 12 months, and we probably will end up applying for an extension of time, just because it took forever to get the police put down.
Now, the Collins Center did the police thing
Yes.
too, right? So, yeah, they drive the meetings,
Oh, yeah.
they set
He
the
did a great job.
agendas and all
Yeah.
that, so,
At least
okay.
he's familiar, or they are familiar with the 2 communities we're talking here.
Yeah,
Yes,
great. So that's-
absolutely.
All right,
And maybe because we've already done it with the police department, some of the painful process of
Yep.
the legal side of it would be
Yeah.
a little bit less. But, so do we need to take an action on this?
no, I think if, she wanted us to think about it,
Okay.
how do we feel about that? And then again, we would have to talk to Jane as far as who the finance rep, we have to kind of find out the details, but I
Yeah.
think it would be
Work it out,
good to accept her recommendation, maybe? That would be what we would vote
Which
on.
is what the motion is now.
Yeah.
Yep.
We can always
Right.
come back and change it.
Yeah.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Yeah, there's-
And I'll let her know that we're on board with that, and we'll give her, as far as who's doing it, that'll come up when we stand up the committee.
Correct.
Then we'll plug names in
You-
at that time.
point about asking Jane. She's very overprogrammed.
I agree,
And,
but she'll probably want to address her commit, maybe Tammy.
Yep, whoever. It is during the day and Tammy works.
Oh, right on.
So I don't know how to
Yeah,
work
we'll
that.
see, we'll see.
The committee is shorthanded at this point, but.
That's why I wanted to get up an alternate or something like that, but I don't know.
Absolutely. When Stan was leaving the select board, Stan Garland, I started to sit in on those police meetings, so there was
Okay.
a smooth transition. And you do have to sit in and understand the dynamics and where each of the personalities are coming through. So it was an important process.
Because I know myself and Michelle plan on attending the meetings too,
Yep.
but we wouldn't be on the committees. So,
Good.
but, all right.
Okay.
So I'll let her
there.
know we're on board with the
Yep.
makeup of it. Okay.
All right. New clauses for veterans. Okay, I'm going to go back to my,
Oh, yeah,
where did I do this? Over here.
page 4.
Yep. All right. Okay. New clauses for Veterans HERO Act. The act honoring and empowering and recognizing our service members and veterans, so-called HERO Act, Chapter 178 of the Acts of 2024 allows cities and towns of Massachusetts to adopt Section 23 which adds 2 new veteran property tax exemption clauses, so-called clauses 22I and 22J, to the general laws, Chapter 59, Section 5. Town Clerk Chris Wisk.
No, Chris
Oh.
Demars from the Upper Pioneer Valley Veterans Organization. I
That Chris.
apologize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I not?
Nope, I
Nope,
didn't
it's not in there. Okay, so
yeah.
tell me again, Chris.
Chris Demars of the Upper Pioneer Valley Veterans Services District.
Is inquiring to know whether or not the new clauses will be brought forward for a vote at our annual town meeting in May of 2025. If adopted, Clause 22I would increase the amount of the tax exemption granted to veterans on their domiciles annually by a cost of living adjustment determined by the Department of Revenue based on the Consumer Price Index. If adopted, Clause 22J provides an additional exemption up to 100% of the amount of the tax exemption granted to veterans on their domiciles. The town already voted in April of 2024 at the annual meeting to implement a tax work-off program for seniors and veterans in fiscal year 2026, granting property tax exemptions, etc. Does the town meeting want to add an article adopting Clause 22I and/or 22J to the annual town meeting warrant in addition to the tax work-off program and any other existing veterans exemptions? In discussions with the Select Board, with the approval of the tax work-off program of last year's annual meeting, I would recommend delaying adoption of Clause 22I and 22J for 12 months until we can figure out where the tax work-off program is going to, how it's going to affect the town and the town's finances and the appropriate parties that would potentially be benefited by this work-off program.
I did talk to Chris Demars. I
Yep.
don't know if I'm saying that right. And I asked him about this as well. And I explained to him, too, what we are doing. And he goes, yeah, there are a lot of towns that are doing that. And, you know, so it's definitely something we can put off for a year.
Okay,
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, what
Yeah.
you're saying.
so we need a motion to,
I'll make a motion to delay acting on the 2 acts here,
2 clauses.
2 clauses, 22I and 22J, and we'll bring it back up in 12 months
Okay.
after we see how the tax work-off program is implemented in the town and how it plays out.
Okay.
Second.
okay, discussion. I am on the committee of the tax work-off program, just to update the townspeople. We got it to very close to the end zone as far as getting that program, all of the variables in place. And then we hit a bump in the road because our chair, Jennifer Reynolds, has moved on to another town. So we're in the process of getting consensus back to a schedule. We were meeting every couple of weeks, and I think we've got everything nailed down. We just want to finish that up, formalize the document, and then bring it to the Select Board for their approval in that process. And then we would then put it on the warrant as to approve the whole program.
Great.
So that's just an update.
Yeah, thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Bernardston's Americans with Disability Act, so-called ADA, Self-Evaluation and Transition Plan Proposal. Capital Strategic Solutions, which is the town's
Grant.
partner in applying for grants and exploring other opportunities for the town. One of their skill set is what they've done here is pleased to present a proposal to provide professional consulting services for the town of Bernardston. On November 21st, 2024, the town of Bernardston was awarded a $20,000 grant for the municipal ADA, so-called the municipal ADA grant. The proposal describes, so there's $20,000 in the bank already received
Yep.
for this work. So it wouldn't cost the town anything.
No.
We've applied for and successfully received the money. The proposal describes the qualifications, approach, and the commitment that Bernardston can expect from Capital Strategic Solutions, LLC, so-called CCS, Capital Strategic Solutions, through this engagement. Based on their knowledge and extensive experience with the American Disability Act, compliance and self-evaluation and transition plans, CSS understands our goal to procure the services of an experienced firm that will properly and cost-effectively deliver the services needed in Bernardston. CSS staff that will be working on this project have served as ADA compliance officers, access compliance inspectors, former municipal employees with ADA responsibilities, and a former employee of the Massachusetts Architectural Access Board. Jennifer Thompson will be the point person from CSS, authorized to make commitments, including financial ones, on behalf of CSS LLC for all aspects of this project. Capital Strategic Solutions will prepare a self-evaluation and transition plan for the town of Bernardston that complies, this is the work that they're going to perform.
Yes.
Will prepare a self-evaluation and transition plan for the town of Bernardston that complies with the requirements of the Americans with Disability Act of 1990 and its amendments. CSS is prepared to offer the following services, including, but not limited to, ADA compliance evaluation of the town services programs and policies, ADA compliance evaluations of town facilities, including buildings, parks, and cemeteries, including associated site elements such as sidewalks, walkways, parking lots, play structures, and other site elements. The team at CSS will prepare a self-evaluation and transition plan that complies with current ADA standards. CSS staff will review and recommend adjustments where necessary to the existing grievance procedure and public notice that conforms to ADA 504 requirements. Our team will provide a current cost estimate for the remediation work required as a result of this evaluation. We will ensure that all physical improvements identified and proposed under the plan shall conform to both ADA and Architectural Access Board, so-called AAB, requirements. As part of this project, CSS staff will perform an assessment of the physical access to buildings and grounds of the town's specified facilities. Given that programs, services, and activities are offered on these properties, Title II requires that people with disabilities have an equal opportunity to participate in the public entities' programs, services, and activities in the most integrated manner appropriate. Like many public buildings in New England, given the age of some of these properties, there are areas that do not currently meet the minimum standards for physical accessibility defined by the ADA. As required through this evaluation process, each deficient item will be identified in the plan and a recommendation will be made for its removal, corrective action. The town of Bernardston will only be billed for actual hours worked. Services provided are not to exceed $20,000 without a prior approval, and the town will be invoiced monthly for work completed. The project will commence upon the signed acceptance of the proposed services. I would entertain a motion to approve the proposal and quotation Town of Bernardston ADA Self-Evaluation and Transition Plan as written.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion?
Well, we've had good luck with CSS on many projects.
Absolutely.
We've worked with them.
Yeah,
They're a
yeah,
great
sure.
group of folks.
They are very talented, and
Yep.
they have some very specific skill set here to apply to this. The risk we run,
Right.
as they have identified in their proposal, is a lot of our buildings are not currently ADA compliant. So once they're identified, it now is incumbent upon the town to fix that, make it accessible for people with disabilities so they can access the town's buildings and other programs, the streets, the sidewalks, you name it, all of that. We need to step up and get to that point, but there's dollars associated with that to remediate those concerns.
There's a lot of grant money
Yeah,
for
that's
it,
the
though.
hope with
Absolutely.
And that's what this
self-evaluation.
opens up for us, so.
This particular $20,000 is hiring the consultant to identify what the issues are, provide a path to resolving
Correct.
those issues.
Yep, you have to have a self-assessment and transition plan in place to apply for
Many
ADA
grants,
grants.
right.
So this is the first step to open up a lot of doors for us.
Okay, any other discussion?
Nope.
Call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we move forward. Good. Any old business? Hearing none, seeing none? Other business unknown at time off request. I would entertain a motion to approve the employee time off request.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Done and done. Town administrator report. You're up.
Okay, so annual town report topics are coming in. You know, I sent an email out to the department heads that their annual town reports will be due to us by the 15th of February. So I'm working on the
That
select
gives you
boards.
enough time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been working on the select boards, and some of the topics I kind of am thinking about to expand upon for our report is, we had I want to talk a little bit about hosting that United Arc 5K run. I thought that was a great annual event that we've begun a tradition with the United Arc. The completion of the Comcast MBI project, that was a great project that was completed. I thought it'd be worth mentioning some of the things that we have done internally, like a lot of the select board policy procedures improvements that we have made.
Personnel policy.
Personnel policy, the grant management guidelines, the town usage policy, and our onboarding procedures, turnover proceedings, things like that. I'm also going to mention the IT network and infrastructure project, kind of more of an update on that because that's still not closed out yet. But and then, of course, the new town website, that was probably. So I just want you as a select board to think about some things maybe that you just send me a little paragraph or two if you want to, and then I can take it from there and add it to our report for the annual town report.
Okay. So the United Arc, the Comcast work, the personnel policy, the town usage policy, the onboarding, the IT upgrade, the town website.
Correct. That's the things I was going to kind of expand
That's
upon.
that right there. We've been busy.
We've been busy, yes. And actually, I looked at the voting logs. I create a voting log for all your meetings, and that's exactly where I captured some of these from. So, but yeah, so I just thought maybe want to write it by myself. Just tell me, give me some more ideas, and I'll
That's
finalize
plenty.
our document.
I got to say, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, and then
And you only get a page.
yeah, I know. So
Good luck
we
with
could
that.
We could go 2 pages.
Yeah, okay.
All right. And I just wanted to update you on this. This is a Board of Health agenda item, but the Board of Health recently joined the Neighborhood Renewal Division with the Attorney General's office. It used to be the abandoned housing thing. So this program uses the enforcement of the state sanitary codes to turn abandoned properties around. The AG's office starts with the known violations and attempts to gain movement from the property owner. If there's no movement to fix the violations, the property could be petitioned in court to appoint a receiver lien. The receiver would then work with the AG's office while making the improvements to the property, and at the end of the receivership, the property owners may reimburse the receiver and clear the lien, or the receiver can foreclose on the lien. Sorry for all those details, but that's kind of how the program
We have
works.
approved this in the...
Yeah, we're in the program.
Good.
So the Board of Health is at the beginning stage now of the program and are looking for input on potential properties we may be aware of in town that we could present to the AG's office. They're starting to make a list of these types of properties that meet those requirements. So the Board of Health sent an email to the police chief, the fire chief, tax collector, and the building inspector on January 7th asking for this information. And I noticed you weren't on the email, so I just wanted you to be aware. I want the town to know about this as well. So the Board of Health will be preparing a list of properties, 10 properties, if we even have that many, I don't know. But and then the next step would be to present them to the AG's office. So
We get to prioritize the 10, or the 5 probably is more realistic.
the next Board of Health meeting is the first Thursday in February. So I recommend maybe someone might want to come to that.
Yep.
3:30. It's the first Thursday. I think that's the 7th of February, if I'm correct, but don't quote me. But I recommend a little bit of participation. Maybe if one of you can go, just kind of hear what they're doing and keep our eye on it a little bit, maybe, because I don't know. This is a big deal. This could be a big deal. So.
It is. Just in the Recorder, there was an article this week about one of the towns going through that legal process. It might have been an advertisement. The reason I'm looking out on the... You didn't read it? You don't read the Recorder? Shame on you.
The other thing, too, is we could... I'm not going to say names or anything because that wouldn't be appropriate,
Right.
but we could, the receivership piece, we could have, there's people in the town that have businesses that could help with this.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
and.
Would be interested in being a receiver.
Being interested in being a receiver.
These
and-
would be
and
people that have particular skills.
They're
in
builders
rehabbing.
and
Yes.
contractors, those kind of people. So we have a lot of them in town. And so that's why I think we need to maybe try to identify our own receivership people. If we identify, steer, however
Yeah.
you want to do
Right.
that, but it would be
That's a good idea.
maybe having a meeting and talking to some of these potential receivership people.
Is it on us to do that, or does this organization, the
AG's office.
That's the
AG's
problem why
office.
there's a bottleneck, because there's not enough receivership. So it would behoove us to, if we want things to move
Recruit.
along in our town
Yeah.
with this program, we would want to maybe identify and see if some of our craftsmen and women in our town that can do this kind of work would
Okay.
help with that.
makes sense?
So we should have that discussion at a Board of Health meeting, though.
Okay.
Yeah, the
and that-
presentation they had at the Board of Health meeting, I think.
They did it, yeah, I
It
was
was
Yeah.
an
I were there.
excellent presentation.
Yes.
So
And
I'm
that's
just
why we were so
recommending that
enthusiastic.
we get a little more involved in
Yeah.
this maybe, and or want someone, and then we can see what that looks like with maybe identifying some of the craftsmen and women in our town to see,
Maybe we can put them in contact with the AG's office.
Get them
so they
connected.
can explain the
Yeah,
program.
exactly.
I
I
guess that our clerk has a list of all those people, no?
Construction type businesses.
Do you?
I do,
Yeah, see,
I should.
you should.
Well, whether they all are really licensed is
Right.
another.
No, no.
Different issue altogether.
Business license.
And they don't necessarily need to be licensed, but if
Well,
they're
they
an
have to
interested
have a-
party
Yeah.
with the skill set,
So that's
Right.
In the bank, yeah.
that's where we're at with that, and I just wanted to, I think we should just keep our ear to the ground with the
Okay.
Board of Health on this.
That's a good idea.
So that's all I have.
apropos Board of Health, there was a series of Board of Health meetings about the arsenic leach. Anything ever happened with that?
Barbara Colleen was not the chair of the Board of Health, who was
Yeah.
kind of heading that portion,
Yes.
but she was not at the last meeting,
Oh,
so
neither was I, so
Yeah, so-
I missed that meeting.
we'll have to that's going to be on the agenda for.
All right, so that's
I
another
still think it's
reason
a
to go to
problem
that.
of finding a third testing company.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of falling off to the side. I don't know.
I don't want it to fall off.
I
to
know,
the
but
side.
we need to get it back up in the.
Yeah.
Okay,
Finish it
sounds
off.
like,
Yep.
sounds like a plan.
So that's all I have.
Good.
So,
And, yeah, I was waiting
okay.
patiently.
You are, okay.
Go Lions.
No, yeah, go Lions, right? But
She doesn't have any
Yeah.
appropriate.
No,
No, I don't. No,
You- do you have that at
I'm not
home?
going to celebrate till after sometime.
They're in the
hopefully
playoffs. They are the
February.
number
Yeah.
one seed in the NFC of the playoffs.
Yes, they are.
Karen is from Detroit.
So did you want to talk about the last item here?
Are you blushing?
Yeah, probably a little bit.
That's good.
Yeah.
What about the last item?
The looking ahead to New Year
Oh.
2025.
Yeah, so we have, you want to come up to the table?
We'd like
Make
to.
you
Come on
embarrass
up.
you too?
Yeah.
So,
That way Otis can get you on camera, you know?
yeah, you go. It's Liesel, is that how you say it?
Liesel.
Liesel.
From the
Liesel.
Sound of
Liesel.
Sound of Music.
I
Oh,
never
there you
saw
go.
that movie.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
to Stowe to the Sound of Music. Liesel Nygaard
Yes.
from the Greenfield Recorder is here. Liesel is interested in learning details about Bernardston's plans for the new year ahead. This is a great opportunity for the Select Board to highlight the town's objectives and goals for the upcoming year. And you have some.
I put a couple things down for us to talk about, would be the
Okay.
new fire station, and of course, we already mentioned this evening, the efficiency and regionalization grant, but those are my two. And you have
Those are
information
huge.
on those already.
Yeah.
And
Those
Pete
are
spoke
huge,
to the
yeah.
fire,
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think a
but
big
those are
one-
kind of short-term things, but.
I think a big one that involves more than just Bernardston is the district agreement with Pioneer Valley
Yep.
Regional School District. That's a big one.
Have you been to those meetings at all?
I haven't been to the meetings, but I've spoken with others, select board, town admin, people about the district agreement, as well as the regionalization.
The grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a piece Michelle spoke to about the regionalization efficiency grant in the recorder. There was an article on that, so. But I do think we're going to collectively, it's such a great question that we're going to collectively maybe just look at this a little deeper. And
Yeah.
so, right?
Yep.
We'd like to do
Yep.
that.
Yep.
That is huge. It has a tremendous impact on the budget for the town.
Yeah.
The PVRS budget is more than half of the total town budget. And we need to regain control over that to the extent that the town has some input into that budgeting process and put some controls on the growth of that budget. It's a tug of war between the school committee and the towns to see who shapes that budget and how to control, in particular, the capital investments to see to the needs of our children in school that are in the school process, to make sure that they're being served, because they don't have a loud voice, but they have certainly an advocate from the school board side of it. But we also have a fiscal responsibility to the townspeople. They can't afford to keep absorbing the increases in the school budget, particularly with the difficulty in attracting students to PVRS, the enrollment process. We were talking about this at other meetings, that from K up to about 8, there's some reasonable participation, reasonable number of kids in the program, but starting 9, 10, 11, and 12 grades, that number drops off dramatically. The kids go to other different schools, whether it's just
Tech school.
Tech school is the big.
In the private schools, like kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think individually, I don't think, maybe tech school would average about 30 students. I don't think it's necessarily the one. I think it's a collective.
It definitely
It's the tech school and
Yep.
all the others. And now it becomes significant. 30 maybe, in one's opinion, would be significant, but is it as significant as, the 100 that, or I don't know what the number is. I don't have it with me, but
It's just,
Yeah.
they don't live here anymore. too.
Right.
It's
That, you know.
the tech school, the private schools,
the-
and school choice.
yeah.
Yep.
And I think the biggest problem is getting new young families to move to our towns, whether it's us, Northfield, Leiden, in that school district, to it's not happening. It's not happening for a multitude of reasons, which we discussed at the fifth Wednesday meeting that we had. The first one we had. There is one coming up, by the way, which happens to be
Next Thursday.
virtual.
Oh,
That one's
oh,
virtual.
oh.
So, but anyway, so one of the things we discussed is how do we get, and everything's related, right? I was telling you about it. Like, you have to have industry so people have jobs, so they can buy a house in Bernardston or Northfield or Leiden or.
Right.
But there's only so much land to build industry, right? I mean, it's all. You have to have the infrastructure to support all of that, and so on and so on. It just goes and goes.
Yeah.
So the school's on our mind in 2025, the challenges, right, I would say, and just keep exploring different things,
Yeah, when you heard it tonight too, with the fire station, once they transition to the new station, what to do with that and the Foster lot next to it, and with the corner lot on Route 5 and 10 here, it's going to begin to be developed.
Yeah,
I mean, it was sold.
To an art
It's going to become an
gallery,
art
yeah.
gallery, to see what that looks like and what would fit next to that to make it
What's
seem
the
right.
art gallery?
Her,
On
Yeah,
the
I forget
corner
the
where
name.
the old Bernardston Inn used to be. It's right on the corner.
burned down
of,
before she was born.
right
Well,
around the corner.
that's true.
Yeah.
It was.
It's across the street from Antonio's in the park. It's that corner lot.
This side of the street.
Yeah. The entrepreneur she's going to build a art studio and gallery there. So there'll be, of course, art gallery plus classes and a space to rent for
If you go
events as
back
well.
through our videos, they did give a presentation with architectural
Yeah,
drawings during one of these meetings. That
Yes.
was
Yes,
summertime.
summertime.
Yep.
So they'll probably break ground in the spring, and it should be yeah, it should go out, it's 2,500 square foot building in the corner there.
Meeting space.
Meeting
that kind of thing.
space and,
Art classes.
yeah,
art
so we're
studio.
looking to see what that looks, that'll get developed, see what that looks like, and then like Brian mentioned
Yeah.
about the Foster lot.
See how it all ties together.
See how that, what that looks like, and then maybe make, you know, like you said about the old fire station, let's get this corner built and see maybe, so there's some things we gotta sit back and wait and kind of just think about things this year. Right? It was a long, busy 2024,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit more of a pondering and mind, right? I don't know, for me anyways, I speak for
Yeah.
myself, slowing down a little bit.
Do you think any initiatives will be made to work on that corner, or is it just all gonna be like brainstorming this year?
I think we're looking for feedback from the town.
Yeah.
It'll be I don't think it's taken any shape. We haven't formed a committee yet to explore that.
Yes.
What the uses are. I know the planning board has some ideas as to how to utilize that. One of the proposals was electric vehicle charging station.
But that's,
That ship has sailed, I guess.
yes.
But there are multitude of uses for all of that downtown space. We have a very successful Scarecrow in the Park event in October, and it's just the town puts on its best face and does a great job with that. Similar to the gas engine show, those two events bring an incredible number of people down to Burns, thousands, and other uses for those spaces, whether it's Pratt Field or down center town area. We need to A, protect that for future uses, but also B, find a way to I don't know, develop the process, develop the property. You want to talk about the potential of the at Bernardston Elementary, the jungle gym, whatever you call that?
Yeah, so, that's definitely, thank you, I kind of forgot about that. But, again, we mentioned about the ADA transition plan and self-assessment opens up to many other grants, and one of them that we're eyeballing is an all-inclusive playground grant, getting a grant to help support that, to replace the one that's at the Bernardston Elementary School. Those structures are hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
It's like $200,000 plus to replace the one, right? in
Which is a budget buster for us.
And then the plan is not for, finding the funding's one thing, but it's kind of a cool project because it will involve a committee that the school, Gretchen and the school's standing up. The kids are getting involved with drawing pictures of what they want it to look like. And then we're gonna kind of come in and hopefully do what we can with the funding. But the kids also will have some skin in the game too and do some fundraising. And so it's kind of a real cool, to me, community project. But we really need to find a chunk of change through some grants, right?
Right.
And it'll be an all-inclusive playground. So that's something we're still, for this year we'll be working on that.
There's a committee that's working on improving the EMS, the ambulance service that covers our town, and Northfield and Irving and Gill. And we're actively developing that, funding the resource properly. It's called the Northfield EMS. But it's a service that provides ambulance services to those 4 towns. And there's some needs, huge needs, as far as new ambulances, hiring trained people, full-time staff. So there's some budgetary concerns coming at us from that committee.
I think one other big one that's going to come that involves the schools as well is the vision of the school to build a new building on one campus. There was an article in the Recorder that started to mention that to the communities. That if that happens, the estimates are for a $100 million building.
$100 billion.
That would affect even if the state paid half of that, these 3 small communities would have to fund the other $50 million of that, and what that effect would have on these 3 communities. That's gonna raise its head at some point this year that we're all gonna have to deal with. We don't have specifics on that yet, but that's coming right around the corner here. So that's a big one on a lot of our minds as the schools affect the budget in other ways too.
This new campus, it's for,
Pioneer Valley
They
Regional
would-
School District,
okay.
where the high school is now.
Yeah, the school's vision is to build one building there to house K through 12, pre-K through 12. Not K through 12, I gotta stop saying that, pre-K through 12. And they would, Bernardston Elementary would then become, town of Bernardston owns that, would no longer be a school. We'd have to repurpose that building. Northfield would have to repurpose their elementary school because they own it. And what those effects would have on this community. That building wasn't, we used that building for a lot of recreational uses
did.
for our rec department, both summer camps, basketball.
New town hall.
Yeah, town hall.
New town hall.
New town hall. You know,
That's
so
a
those-
possibility.
Those are gonna start to come to the forefront for our community, Northfield and Leiden as well.
You got enough?
I think so.
She could make something out of that.
Yeah. Whip something up.
A piece of cake.
Yeah, sure.
Unless we're missing Chris, you usually got your finger to the pulse of the town.
Chris does double duty. She's the,
She's got the census coming
Yeah.
up, right?
right.
Yes, I wanted to mention that. The census went
Darn.
in the mail.
Yep.
People are already
I got
turning
mine.
them in
I got
today.
mine today, yeah.
Should have brought it with
I know
me.
it.
So dog licenses, it's time to start licensing your dogs, and you have until March 31st. And if you don't license it by April 15th, you start getting whacked with a fee.
There you go. We
So,
love it.
Over 70, and residents that are over 70 don't have to pay for their first dog if they have more than one dog.
Nice.
You get your license for free, so
I think I'm the only person in the room that qualifies.
maybe at the moment, yes. So the other thing is you can go on the website now and you can go to online services and you can request and pay for your dog license on there and mail, and I can mail it to you. You can, there's fees involved, but you know, it might make it easier for a lot of people to do that. Please be patient with me because I do not have an assistant town clerk for the next 3 months. So I will be inundated with the
Busy thing.
census, the dog licenses, the town caucus in March, all of these things, so that come with the job, but.
As I said,
anyway.
she wears a lot of hats.
We should, speaking of town caucus, we should put that on our next agenda. You want to set a date for that in our next meeting?
It's
the
the
caucus?
first Tuesday in March.
Does it have to be that day? Yeah, okay.
Well, that's what it's always been.
So we
I
should
don't
put
know.
that in the
I don't think
announcement.
Yeah, we should
should.
put it in the announcements and lock it in so people know.
You got it. And we should get it on the calendar too,
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah, oh
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
Good thing you said that name.
thank you.
So we have identified a replacement. It's just that person's not available until
Until April.
April.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. So I will be really happy when she starts.
Yep. That's it then.
And that's pretty much what I have.
Fire station's a huge one though for your story. It
Yeah.
really is for us.
Yeah.
I would, there's one more thought if you, on your list. Recruiting new talent, new people to our committees.
Yes.
We are shorthanded, particularly on the finance committee. It's a committee of 5 and we only have 3 participating members. We're actively looking for,
It's right here on the top of my list
Oh,
to
good.
come up with the vacant list.
Dave, great idea.
List.
Okay, so
It's on the
we'll-
website
that will
too.
be tomorrow.
Volunteer
I'll try to
employment
get that
opportunities.
done.
You got enough other things to do, but yes, that's I think that for all towns
It's
in
important
Franklin
to get
County.
it in, yeah.
They're,
Liesl, do you want me to send you a list
please.
tomorrow?
Yes, please.
Okay.
But for the town people listening, the vacancies are posted on the website.
good.
Local cultural council,
Yeah.
this vacant school committee position.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
The finance committee and conservation commission
Planning
And,
board?
I think we need an alternate for the planning board.
in the planning board.
Okay.
But
And
it's
I'm
on the
sure there's
website.
others, so I'll look at the
Yeah,
list.
okay.
Thank
So-
you.
If you could send that on to the select board too, just so we have,
I-
I know it's
I'll
on the
get
It's on the
website.
website, yeah.
Okay, all right.
They're listed, what's
Yeah, we're gonna
open.
put it on the town website.
Yeah.
so.
Good, good.
All right.
Now you've got plenty. All right. Any other business, or unless you have other questions for us?
Oh, the only other thing I'd like to say
Yeah, please.
is I want to thank Camilla Thatcher, who retired as my assistant town clerk.
Yeah,
So
sure, yeah.
She's going to be enjoying retirement. And
She's too young to retire. She could serve on one of our other committees.
She'll be around.
Yeah,
She's
absolutely.
She's
still one
gonna
of
come
my
around. She's still a
registrars.
poll worker and.
There you
right.
go.
so I still have her log. She can still log into the voter registration system and do some things. If I fall behind, she could come in and help out. So, and that way she'll earn her stipend that she gets
All right.
of $120 a year.
Don't spend it all in one place.
I told her she can't come unless she brings Gus with her though.
Okay,
Right?
sounds good.
Anything else for us or not?
I think I'm good.
All right.
Thank you very
Excellent,
much.
thank you.
I would
Thank you so much,
entertain a motion
Lisa.
to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's a
Good night,
meeting.
everybody.
Good night. Did we sign everything we were
Yes,
supposed
you're
to
all
sign?
straight.